I think, well, we have the honor of supporting many undocumented families in our schools and our community. And through the years, we have come to find out very similar stories. Many of our families come here, obviously, with the hope of, acquiring a better life for themselves and for their family that they have in common. Uh, but they come here because they know other families, and family brings family clearly together. But many of them leave families behind, children with extended family, etc. And many are experiencing trauma while they cross the border, when they're detained, their family members that they've left behind similarly have some trauma. Many of the families that live here and come from different countries were, war torn. There's a lot of violent gangs and, just a lot of horrible things happening. So we hear time and time again of the fractured families. So families who, come here, their parents come here, leave children behind, and they hope to be reunited soon, and they end up, reuniting and sending and sponsoring for their children after several years. So one of the issues is mental health, families, and now I'll talk about our students and their families. There's a lot of mental health needs in their native language, in this case, mostly Spanish, and we have a great void in our valley for that kind of support. But that's one of the issues that we see. Um, Clearly, different stories, different, they come from different countries, they come here in different ways, but they share similar dreams. It's about education, a better life, etc. Um, Education continues to be, for most of the families, and at least all the families that we encounter in our schools, continues to be the key to freedom and the key to personal fulfillment. So we want to support students and their families achieve what they want. Um, we also concentrate on success after high school. We believe that students can be successful if they have choices. So we support our students as they come in, many of whom have had little schooling or quite interrupted schooling. And so we take them where they are and we support them. I oversee the family center for our schools. In our district, we have a way of supporting systemically families who come in. We, of course, do not ask families to self-disclose in terms of their immigration status, but we get to know one another, and there is trust, and we end up supporting them in what they need. So again, it is about working together. It is about always thinking that is a give and take, and it's a partnership because we have a lot to learn from folks who arrive here. We're very lucky to be in this valley because we support all of our students and our families. We have partnered with PAIR, the Political and Asylum Representation Project from Boston. We have a couple of attorneys who live in our town, one of them, one of our mothers. And we've done workshops for students, workshops for parents in how to be safe and how to act if if ICE comes to their door. Um, so a lot that I can share. I don't know if you'd like me to expand on any particular area.
Hi, Marta. So we just had a quick question. So
Yes.
I know that at my school, we do not have somebody who fills the role of a director of student and family engagement. And I'm just a science teacher.
Ah,
What do you
you
suggest for teachers or for people working in schools who face similar issues where there is not this specific person that they can go to who has a role of family and student engagement? How can a teacher reach out to students.
Well, teachers need to just make sure that their students feel safe and that they feel they can trust you. I think there's a long way. Also, get to know their families. It's really important that you know who's sitting in front of you, their strengths, and what they need in order to succeed at high levels. In our district, there is such a thing as my position, but we work hard with all administrators in each of the buildings to make sure that they're culturally responsive and they're able to understand the different groups of people who are represent and the richness that they bring to our communities. But I remember as a teacher in Holyoke, because I taught for many years in Holyoke, and most of the students that I taught there were of Puerto Rican descent like myself, but we have some students from other countries. And I remember just having a desire and a need and a commitment to get to know them and to get to know where they were coming from. So I think that as a teacher, you're very empowered. uh, you need to understand your students, and that's one way. But there are a lot of resources. There's a lot to learn, but mostly have a conversation with your students, like in the video where it said you have a voice, and make them feel comfortable, safe, and at home.